Hey guys, welcome back to the Fifth Take Podcast.
You guys, you are going to want to stick around for this one. There's a lot of different takes on this episode. There's a lot of turns.
Oh yeah.
You have to listen all the way through because it gets real good near the end. Should have started out like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would have been great.
Welcome to Triple X.
Oh man, guys, we got a treat for you. You will not believe the guest that we have on this week's episode. Cody, would you like to introduce our guest?
Yes, I would. We know him very well. We're excited to bring him to you guys. I'm Cody.
And I'm Matt.
And we are the guests to our own show. And I hope that you are not disappointed.
Nope.
But
I think they'll like it.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Yeah, they won't be disappointed. You know, like my wife is when she lies with me.
Oh boy.
Oh dude, my back is gonna getting old. And like seriously, like getting old and like more problems you have, can't do the things that you used to be able to do is like a real thing. And so I was cutting tree roots up out of the yard the other night, and I was digging with a pickaxe and an axe. I was sitting there busting them up, and I went to grab one of those roots and pull it up.
Yeah.
And it was like just a shock through my back. I was like a paraplegic there for like 5 seconds. It made me fall down, and anyways, ever since then, it has been killing me. So I don't know. I'm probably dying. I probably won't make it till next week's episode. Might not make it through this episode.
Paraplegic? That's just where your legs are gone, right? That's like where you don't have control or feel of your legs.
Yeah, I think we're paralyzed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paralyzed from the waist. What's a quadrant? That's
where you're paralyzed from the neck down.
Oh,
yeah.
Could you imagine how tough that would be?
Be a hard life.
Oh man.
But you know, I see people all the time. Like you see videos online of people that like live life like that. Like it just, yeah. I mean, I guess if you don't know any different, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be harder to learn things. But like, I was watching a guy, the first Neuralink patient. Have you seen?
Yeah, the Joe Rogan episode.
Yeah. And they got a second Neuralink page. I can't remember all of the upgrades that they got made to it, but that first guy was like he controls his computer with his mind. Like he can play video games, and it's like he literally just looks like Call of Duty. He literally just looks at the enemy team and of a player on the other side, and he's like, it's legit like aimbot.
He blinks, he's like,
yeah. Well, no, he don't even do that. Like he just controls it. It's like a certain, I can't remember. It was really interesting. It was wild.
It's like in his mind, he sees like an enemy. He's thinking like, shoot.
It's something about like he's got a little bit of movement in his hands. Like he can like move his fingers a little bit, and it's like something about when his brain feels that movement, that Neuralink like fires, and it can make the computer react to his like fingertip movement.
Jeez,
I don't remember, but it was. They said that like in the new ones that there's supposed to be like the new updates or whatever that they're gonna put out or whatever. That it's just, well, I mean, obvious it's just gonna get better as it goes.
That is a wild thing, man. Imagine imagine your Neuralink doesn't get an update.
Well, you can't update it.
And then you run like a Windows 95 computer.
Yeah. Your arm lags, or your arm's already lagging. That was a rough one. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean it that way, I swear. Um,
No, it didn't sound like you meant it that way either. Just like, I don't know, that's what I thought. That's
yeah.
like that thing's lagging for sure, lagging behind.
Yeah. It's, oh my God. Gosh, dang it, man.
Oh,
Anyways, veer off that. We go again.
have you, have you seen the? Oh, have you seen those guys or girls, I guess, that play video games like strictly with their mouth, like they're quadriplegic,
Yeah.
and they have like the joystick, and they blow in certain holes,
Yeah.
like shoots and.
Yeah. That's
Dude,
fascinating.
that takes more skill than playing on a freaking controller.
Oh,
Or
for sure.
I don't know.
It's gonna take. I mean, anything other than I cannot imagine using anything other than my hands to do a task like that. Like, imagine driving and not being able to use your legs and having that. They got that button or whatever that they can use, like their steering wheel controls or something like that to
Yeah.
drive, and then like you've got the crane in the bed of a pickup that'll like come over and pick your wheelchair up and set it in the bed, and like there's like a little step down thing that comes down and you sit on, and then it lifts you up into the truck.
Jeez.
Yeah, I was watching. I actually
That's
seen
crazy.
one of those. There was a guy that I had in a class in college, and he was a quadriplegic, and he drove, and he had a pickup, and he had that, and it was really neat. Like I mean, they make it to where you can still feel like you can do everything yourself. Because I mean,
Yeah.
the crane picked it, like lifted him up first and set him over in that seat because it was a little bit higher, and he just like used it to grab a hold of it and like pick himself up, sit over there,
Yeah.
and then just hooked it onto his wheelchair and picked it up, and like the whole seat comes out of the truck, and then like he just sat down in it and he hits a button and it's like a lift chair, and it lifts him all the way back up in there, locks back into place, and then he scoots it up, and then
Dude,
it was neat. It was
that's crazy.
cool.
Like
I didn't think anything like that existed.
yeah, they could still like function as a normal member of society, or as close to normal.
Yeah, I mean, it just being able to drive.
That's pretty awesome. They make those like applications that allow that to happen.
Yeah, and like just being able to drive, I feel like that's just a big. It's not just a necessity in life. I mean, if you live in the city, I don't guess it would have to be a necessity with all the public transportation, like Uber and all that stuff. But like, it's more or less the freedom of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, because it.
Like you're just on your own. There's nothing more peaceful after freaking being around a bunch of people or whatever, and getting in your vehicle and just going for a drive by yourself and listening to some music.
Yeah.
There's nothing more stress relieving.
Dude, a lot of times I'll drive, like, I won't even listen to the radio or podcast, nothing. Just drive and sit there and think and, like, decompress, think about crazy stuff, or I don't know. But it's a good time to, I don't know, unwind for the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I do the same thing. I'll be like, what? Sometimes I'm just so tired.
Yeah,
I will literally just get in my truck, just like you said, and just sit in silence
yeah.
on the way home or wherever I'm going.
Well, whenever I was younger, I used to cut wood with, firewood with Ronnie and Grant Curry.
Mm-hmm.
And in Ronnie's old Toyota that he used to haul wood, he didn't have a radio in it, so we never listened to the radio. In Grant's truck, it was great. Radio worked great. Loved riding in there. But whenever we'd ride in Ronnie's truck, I'm like, just sit look out the window, I guess. And I never understood it. But the older I get, man, I understand that 100%.
Oh,
Makes sense now. Like I said, I have a radio, and sometimes I don't even listen to it. So
yeah, there's nothing more peaceful some days, and some days you don't.
yeah. Sometimes I listen to podcast radio or like a book, audio book or something.
Yeah, you talk about podcast radio and stuff. Have you heard? Maybe you guys have heard about this, like the Venezuelan gangs that have took over apartment complexes in Colorado.
Yeah, I just learned about that like 5 minutes before.
Yeah, and there's people that are like, I was watching a video of it. I was like watching like a news clip of it, and the police were like, "Oh, they did no wrong." And there was a video of them with guns, like beating on somebody's door trying to get in. And like the police are like, they didn't do anything wrong.
That's when you just blast a hole through it.
Yeah, seriously. But I don't think anybody was in the apartment that they were in. But like, dude, I mean, it's just, that's like the fact that we're at this point. I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean
that's ridiculous.
how long till it's in like our town or your town or somewhere local to you?
Well, I don't think it's going to come here. I don't think that would,
They better buckle up.
I mean, that's like everybody's saying. It's like it's in those cities. Like nobody, I mean, it's in one of the cities, I think, that like not many people.
It's like Aurora, Colorado.
Aurora, I think.
Yeah.
Some of it, yeah. I don't know if a lot of people are like gun rights people. I mean, you would think living in Colorado, people would have guns and stuff, but a lot of people don't. I mean, there's a lot of people around here that probably not around here, but like in the state of Kentucky, like in the bigger cities and stuff, where that stuff's going to take place.
Yeah,
because there are no apartment complexes. Like you can't move them to a rural area. I mean, they have nowhere to go. There's no apartments. I mean, there are apartments here, but it's not like big apartment complexes.
Yeah,
with like
it's nothing like
15 acres,
Right.
of apartments. And so, I mean, I don't really see that taking place here, but I mean, anything can happen. I don't know.
That whole gang, they're all like illegal immigrants.
Yeah,
I would assume
Venezuelans.
so, but I mean, I don't know a whole lot about it
Yeah,
other than what I read on my phone.
yeah.
I seen something on Facebook about it. It's what made me look it up.
Yeah, that's where I saw it. I saw a video. It was just happened. It was a video on TikTok actually, of it, and there was a guy who was like, if I get 1 million views, I'll go over there and show you guys or something.
Oh, it's a good idea. If we get
get us 2,000 likes, we'll take you in there. We will go undercover with a Venezuelan gang.
We will have one on the podcast.
Might not speak much English, and I don't speak no Spanish.
Speak a bit.
Yeah, be interesting. Yeah,
it's a good idea.
We would be, ain't no telling what we'd be talking about.
So yeah, you get us 2,000 likes, Cody will do a podcast with that Venezuelan gang member. I'll be virtual. I'll be gone.
You're gonna chime in a little later while I'm in the midst of it. I'm gonna look like Gator off of the other guy. You come in there and like you come to get me. And I got I'm sitting in there on the bed as a pimp, and I got like a switchblade just rubbing it down my jaw.
Oh man,
Gator don't play that.
Oh, dude, that's such a good movie too. And I was we're at that birthday party. Not to change the subject, but you said
you party with the Venezuelan gang?
I partied hard.
Heck yeah.
No, I was at that birthday party.
Who's got the coke? No.
Everyone, see.
Ooh, that'd be a bad day.
That might be a fun day for a while.
I don't know.
My niece, she was sitting there and she was watching a video on her mom's phone, and it was a cartoon, but it was entirely in Spanish. And she's just sitting there.
Oh, dude, yeah, I don't get it.
I was just sitting there looking.
He could barely speak English. He's up here watching a Japanese kid put in 12 hours at the sweatshop. I don't know.
We don't condone that at all.
No, I never agreed to it. I changed it.
I mean, 8 hours. It's probably about the max.
Yeah,
I think 6 maybe.
I don't know what child labor laws are.
Yeah.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Man, that is, circling back like the Colorado thing. I don't know. Do you think that's going to become more and more of a thing, like
for sure
in bigger cities?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of see it. Like maybe this is just the beginning of, more to come, possibly more to go.
It's going to get to the point as Senator, what's his name? Louisiana Senator. I think his name's Tim. I think his last name's Kennedy. I don't know. And he's like, next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead. But yeah, because everybody's like defund the police because like they can't obviously they can't do anything. He's like, next time you're in trouble, call a crackhead.
Shoot you out. They'll do anything for money.
Yeah. And he's got
Yeah,
another saying. What is it called? When people overspend, he calls it the government has a problem with spending porn. It makes no sense. I saw a clip of it here a while back. And he was like in the middle of Congress, like giving a speech deal or whatever. And he was like, so you're telling me he was talking to an FBI agent. I guess it was when they found cocaine in the White House or whatever.
yeah.
He's like, so you're telling me, agent, that me and my wife could just go in the White House and she could do cocaine? And he was like, I'm not saying that. Well, no, but theoretically. I wish I could find that whole clip of him.
Put us on the ballot.
Dude, he is funny. He's like, he's old. He's hilarious.
I think I might know who you're talking about.
Old guy.
I mean, well, that clip, like, it seems like something I've seen, but I could be entirely wrong.
It'd be a perfect time to play that. I don't have it though. Gosh, I wish I could find it. I could hook my. I could play it for where you can listen to it for sure. But I can't. I don't know if I can find it. Oh well, you'll just have to look it up yourselves. One day we'll have us a monitor here. We're gonna rename the podcast area, and we're gonna totally revamp it. We're gonna have a monitor back here. So if we're talking about a clip and we play the clip, you'll be able to hear it and you'll be able to see it on the monitor behind us while we're watching it. So that way, you can feel like you're here with us.
Yeah, there's big things to come. Well,
we got a huge guest coming in October. Really? Like,
oh yeah,
no exaggeration.
And no bull grab.
No lies. No lies this time.
No joke. No joke.
Yeah, you guys will just have to stick around and wait for that one. We'll try and advertise it. We'll try and do something a little bit. I don't know if we could do something beforehand, like just to kind of get it out there.
Yeah, like a little
clip it maybe on our TikTok or something.
Yeah. We could do like a what do they do like before a fight, like building up into a fight, like press release kind of. Not so much a press release, but
it's a
release of some kind.
What's that called? I know what you're talking about. Yeah, press feed, a preview.
No, not a preview, but
I don't know. I don't do television.
I don't know. I'm stupid. Yeah, I'm stupid.
Oh, good day.
Oh, speaking of stupid, let me tell you how stupid I am. You know, you ever use those like pain patches, like I don't know, like an icy hot pain patch?
I thought you were talking about that morphine, baby.
No.
I was like, no.
Not those.
Not necessarily.
No, we don't use the patches.
What? Don't they have morphine patches? Isn't that what?
Yeah, no, I was saying that's not what I.
Oh.
Yeah, I usually just snort. You know, anything.
Liquid morphine. Good day. You'd be dead.
I don't know that much about ingesting morphine.
I don't either, but I feel like a lot of it wouldn't do you no good. You'd be a quadriplegic after that.
Yeah, you'd be a something.
You'd be
maybe dead.
Yeah. Be talking with a lord.
Yeah. But like
I'm home, baby.
Those icy hot, like a little pain patch. I don't know what you'd even.
I know it's
has like a lot of cane and stuff in it.
Yeah.
Like, put it over like a sore or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, where I hurt my back, I got one, and I don't know. It had like menthol. It was a what's that other stuff? It's not icy hot. It's the
BioFreeze.
BioFreeze. Yeah, it was a BioFreeze one.
Yeah, I've used those.
So I put it on my lower back, like right where you'd get a tramp stamp, like right in that general area. I don't have one, but if I was gonna get one, that's probably where it would be.
It's a prescription.
I don't know what I would get either.
Doug's been here.
Oh.
It's Doug. I don't know. This is the first name that came to mind.
I don't know what that's called. Anyway, I put it in my tramp stamp location, And
Jesus.
so I put the pain patch on, and I was up at work, and so yeah, I went on. It was like an hour later. I started like rearranging some stuff in one of our rooms, and the AC didn't work in there. So I started sweating, and then it wasn't maybe 10, 15 minutes after I started working up a good sweat. Like all the sweat from my back was funneling down to that patch,
And it like went down. Oh yeah,
and it like
I know where you're going with
soaked into the patch, and then
Yeah.
it leaked right down my crack.
that.
Dude, and then it was like I put icy hot right on my star chamber.
Yeah.
Jesus. Man, you talk about burning. Dude, it burned. And then it finally, after a little while, it finally got where it wasn't uncomfortable. And then on my drive home, my little work car does not have AC. So I started sweating again. And then it was like midnight.
Here we go.
Here we go again. I put my seatbelt on and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously. Oh, man. That sucked.
Oh, good day. That would be miserable.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of things that happen like that. Like, you remember, we were camping one time and somebody had to go to the bathroom real bad. And, they ran over into the woods and I don't know if they really knew what they were going into, but they went into a patch of, stinger weeds.
I don't remember this.
I cannot remember who it was. Dude, you never heard somebody else say that. Oh, it was bad. It was a bad night for them.
Did they wipe?
Oh, dude, they just, I mean,
my gosh.
they were meditating. Yeah. And then it's like all of a sudden they saw a wolf in their meditation and they snapped out of it.
It's not like they felt the wolf.
And dude, he was gone through that field. I mean, this jet, and like we didn't know what it was. And dude, all of a sudden he came back. We seen what the patch he was in. And it was like, oh yeah, we can see what
man
down there. But yeah, something just right down in it. Could you imagine not knowing?
Oh, dude,
just full blown, ready to.
I bet that mistake was never made again.
Nah, I don't know if it was or not.
I'd never go to the bathroom in the woods again.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I mean, if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that died back in the day, little pioneers out there just wandering and just wandering through and seeing like, ooh, a baddie.
Yeah.
And ate the berry and died.
Poison killed the cat. Yeah. I mean,
seriously, think about that.
You have to learn somehow. We have to learn these things.
You send the people that you don't like.
Yes.
Into the unknown.
Yes.
And you let them test it first. And then you find out through their mistakes. You're like, boy, I'm glad Doug found that out. And I'm also glad he's gone.
Man, Doug, my nerve.
I bet you that happened. And you would have to be like, because they were still British. They when they came over and they were doing all that wandering. So they would be out there in their full suits or whatever, carrying their muskets and whatnot, and be out there. Oh no, dog! Well, art thou? I don't have a British accent. I don't know what you all sound like.
Oh man,
that was like Forrest Gump.
Yeah, you did sound like
that's what that sounded like.
Yeah. That was pretty good. Man, could you imagine?
I'd be a back alley British.
What's that? That sounds like
I'm not, like, I would be like part British, but like not all the way there. You wouldn't want to put me out in the open. So I'd be a back alley British.
Yeah, they want to hide you from the public. They're going to kill this man. I see you.
Yeah. They'd probably be some lore around me. They'd probably thought I was Jack the Ripper. Didn't that take place in Britain back in the day? I think so.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Can't say for
I wonder
sure.
how many people did he kill?
I don't know. But he wasn't he like the first serial killer? I think that's probably them.
That sounds right.
You know, they probably would have thought. You see a guy wandering around back there with like a limp. I just imagine I would have had a limp, and you're like, that's him. We know it is, but we don't have proof. And then they go to talk to you, and then they're like, oh, that's him.
That's you.
Yeah. They said he didn't talk. That's what they said.
Like, oh, I wish he didn't.
But yeah. I don't even know. I don't know what you could sound like. I don't know much. I like baked beans cold from the tin. They eat a lot of baked beans, don't they? Mother made some mushy mash with peas.
And those crumpets. They had crumpets. I don't know.
What's a crumpet?
I have no idea, but I hear them say it. Or I've heard it. I've heard it said.
I think the only thing I can think of that I've ever had to listen to with a British accent was that show with the kids like Palmer, she watched it a little bit. Was Peppa Pig. They're British.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think, yeah. Still, I don't have a very good British accent.
No, but I like
Peppa Pig?
Yeah. No. I do not. That's one cartoon I do not like. You know, one cartoon I really don't like is that Max and Ruby show. But them two little.
Oh, I
rabbits.
think I know what you're talking
If it's
about.
like brother and sister.
My niece used to like watching that, and I would watch it. I would have to watch it.
Max and Ruby.
Yeah.
Ruby and Max.
Yeah.
Gosh,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, for sure. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was the worst one.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of one other. I don't know.
It would be tough talking about being like the first ones who somebody had to test something out before
Yeah.
berries.
That's why I said you put the person you don't like.
Yeah. But I'm saying it would suck. I don't know. Maybe it would suck. Like, can you imagine living in those times?
No. It would be horrible.
Yeah.
No running water, no baths, no electricity.
But then I guess the only reason we say that is because we're so used to that. But imagine, then they didn't have none of those things. They didn't know any different.
Could you imagine the smell?
Oh, man.
Think about that. Could you imagine not taking a bath? Like, you could take a bath, yeah. But did they have soap? I'm sure soap came around someday.
But I'd say they use herbs and stuff prior to soap. That's where I guess soap is derived from.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? I
don't know. Somebody's gonna test out which one doesn't give you
what? How would you do that though? I guess that's true. If you taken
lavender and
yeah, that's true. And you took and say you scrunched it up and made it like a ball and took and scrubbed it on you. I guess you would get rid of that smell.
Or I think really, honestly, just jumping in a river and rubbing your.
Then you're gonna smell like fish. You ever get in a river and get out, and you smell like a river. You know what I mean? I guess that would be
tuna.
I guess that would be better than smelling like freaking
animal butt.
Oh Jesus! Ooh gosh, daggone.
You smell like those chicken houses.
No, you smell worse. Well, I stink pretty bad when I get down.
Yeah, I smell those things.
Yeah, they're right across from your house, literally across the holler. Yeah.
Usually, and it seems usually in the mornings and the evening times.
When the dew's heavy, that's when you'll catch it the most. Because I never smell it here until the dew's real heavy. That's when you get it.
It's hot, so strong.
It's got a real ammonia to it. Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, it'll make your eyes water. You'll go blind if you go in there without a mask and you stayed in there for very long, or without fans going on for very long.
Really?
Yeah, seriously. That ammonia.
Do you have to go in there? You have to wear a mask when you go in there?
No, because that didn't make sense. You can't go blind without wearing a mask. I thought about that after it came out of my mouth.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not-
golly.
yeah. Put a mask on. Yeah, can you see pretty good? Oh man, yeah, I'm clear as day, and I'm gonna wear no mask. God, I'm blind.
It's super crap.
I can't see anything out of here. But no, you take and put a. You got to run those fans when you go in there because if you don't, man, that ammonia
It like sucks all the air out.
it sucks fresh air in. Let the fans run for about 5 minutes. You're
Yeah.
good. But if you step in there, you'll step in there and it'll take your breath away. You yank back out real quick and shut that door. Your eyes will be watering.
Really?
Yeah, it's stout.
Go in there with about 5 gallons of bleach.
Oh, God bless.
Mix shit. I'll make some mustard gas.
Oh,
Pretty sure it
stinks.
makes mustard gas.
No, it
It'd
don't.
kill you. Yeah.
No, it don't.
Ammonia
I've
and
sprayed bleach all down through there on water lines before when the ammonia was high.
Maybe maybe it has to be like.
It's got to be a real high
Yeah.
concentration of
I
it,
think
yeah.
so.
I don't think there's too much other like I'm not a scientist, but like carbon and oxygen and nitrogen and helium and everything in the air. There's too much of everything else. I think it's just got to be a real concentrated dose.
Yeah, I think, and it wasn't like a small area too.
Yeah.
Yeah, in those chicken houses, you'd have to. I don't know.
I don't know. You'd have to live in a bucket and do it.
Live in a.
Like sit a bucket over your head and just sit there. Yeah, I feel like that's how it would happen.
Oh yeah, that's a. I don't know. I could think of plenty other ways I would rather off myself instead of sticking a bucket over my head.
I wouldn't choose it. To be honest with you.
No.
You ever have you ever heard of anybody like getting I'm sure somebody out there knows what I'm talking about. Well, I mean, you know what I'm talking about because you probably know a bunch of people that's done it, but you ever have like with anxiety, you ever like people with anxiety, like when they're first getting it and they don't know what it is, like they'll take and like think of like they'll Google what their symptoms are
Yeah.
and it'll like pull up all this stuff and they'll like go to a doctor and everything. They think that all this stuff's wrong with them.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like that's a lot more common nowadays too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I know that's a totally random off-topic thing from that because you said off yourself.
Yeah. You're talking about, yeah.
With you were like when you said about like that would kill you if you were in there with all that ammonia and stuff. And I started thinking about that. I was like, you know, I don't know where that came from.
But they have a word for that too. I don't.
Well, I think it just comes with anxiety, like because you start thinking when it's new, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, and it just hits you, and you're like, "Holy crap! I've been living with stage 4 cancer
Yeah.
for 3 years, and I'm just now figuring out, you know." And and then you Google it, and then you go to the doctor, and they're like, "Oh, you just need some Lexapro."
Yeah. 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 Now that what I was talking about, there's a word that talks about like thinking or
No, that's not it.
thinking you have every kind of like problem or disease. Right?
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of what it's called. Is it a hypochondriac?
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
I thought that meant you were afraid of spiders. Huh.
That's like arachnophobia.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can really hear the idiocracy coming out of my mouth as I speak.
Oh yeah. I speak.
I don't know if that's a word, but it sounds legit. It is a word. It is a word.
It was a movie.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've never seen it.
no.
It's a good movie. Should watch it.
No, I've never watched it.
It's about like society today.
Oh, wait, yeah, you've talked about that. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
Talk about the Crocs.
Do you have anxiety?
Yeah, yeah. And if we're being real for a minute, yeah, anxiety and depression. Yeah, I've struggled with it for.
Did you take medicine?
Yeah, I've tried antidepressants and like ADHD. Medication for that. But antidepressants, man, I don't. I don't know. I don't want to say like they can't help people,
Yeah.
like because I definitely think there are people who benefit from it, but like for me, honestly, I think it made things worse. really.
Yeah, yeah,
It like they did not help me. And
yeah,
then because it's such like you start taking like an antidepressant, you can't like if you don't like the way it makes you feel or if you don't like side effects, whatever, you can't just well, I'm not saying you can't, but it's not recommended, not safe to just stop taking it
yeah.
just because of the side effects uh that can
Oh, dude,
bring
I
around.
dealt. Yeah, I dealt with it there for a while. If we're gonna get real about it, but I dealt with it there for a while. Not the depression part, really, but the anxiety part. And it took years to kind of get over. And now I'm at a point that I can control it, and I'm fine now. Like I can be in a situation that gets me there, but I've got these coping mechanisms that I've came up with over the years. Excuse me. And I can like tone it down.
Yeah.
I still get the after effect. The worst, I think the worst part about it all is the after effect of it, because you just feel like death is like just looming over you because you're like exhausted. You're so drained. You got brain fog. You just feel like you can't even associate with anyone in society or
Yeah.
anyone in your
Oh
family.
yeah.
And like when I was taking the medicine that they prescribed me, and I can't remember what the antidepressants were called. I think they gave me Lexapro one time, uh, and then they gave me something else. I can't remember what it was the other time. But like I think it was like backwards because I didn't have any depression until I took that medicine. And
Yeah.
like I was laying on the couch for like 2 weeks. And like, dude, all you do is cry and have just horrible thoughts. And like they're like, call like if anybody that's listening to this, seriously, I know how that feels. If you've been through that, it gets better. I promise. It's always gonna get better. It's you just gotta deal with it for
Yeah.
that little period of time that feels like a lifetime. But I've dealt with it myself, and Matthew, I said, you can overcome it,
Yeah.
and don't be afraid to talk to somebody. That's
Oh
a
man,
that's a
that's a
huge
big one.
stigma,
And
But go ahead,
oh no,
I'll finish.
no, you're good. I was just gonna say, like talking about it, it's a big one. That's a big thing that I think tremendously helps that I can never do.
Yeah, seriously.
Never.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard one. You don't want to talk to somebody about it. And then, it's sometimes it's too late. Don't let it be too late. Um,
Yeah.
but like the medicine for me was like it put me in a depression, and I was in it for 2 weeks, and like we talked to the pharmacist, we talked to doctors, everybody, and it was like they're like, our hands are tied. We don't know much more that we can do.
Yeah.
And it was like I didn't need to talk to a therapist because I was like I was fine on that end. I was like I didn't need to talk to somebody like that. I had people that I would talk to about it a lot, and it was like I literally sat down one night, and I never sat down. I've never told anybody this other than Kate. I can't believe I'm about to say it out to everybody, but it's we're on that topic, and I feel like it could help somebody that's listening.
Yeah.
Um, I literally sat out in my driveway. This was years ago. This was probably like, oh gosh, this is probably like 14 years ago, 12 years ago. It's a long time. And I literally sat in the driveway and cried for like 30 minutes. And I sat there and prayed. And I've always been a Christian, and I will never not be one. Um, but there was at times that you feel like your prayers do not get answered, and you don't understand what the purpose of that is.
Yeah.
And I laid in the driveway. I know it sounds so cliche, and cried and prayed. And I was just like, I've got to have some relief. I was like, this is unbearable. And
Yeah.
the sadness that just looms over you. And dude, I went in the house. All I done was sleep. I went in the house and laid down, and the pharmacist called to check on me. And she was, I don't know what to tell you to do. But all I know is just to cut back on the medicine and slowly wean yourself. that was, like I said, that was about 45 minutes after I did all that in the driveway. I come in, she calls me and tells me that it was time to take the medicine. I was supposed to take half of a pill. I took the half and broke it in half and took a fourth. I took that fourth. It wasn't 5 seconds after I took that fourth. I flipped. It was like a switch flipped in me.
Yeah.
I flipped all the way around. I was back to normal in an instant
Mm-hmm.
after taking that medicine. And the medicine helped, but I was like, I couldn't not acknowledge the prayer that I prayed earlier was everything I was asking for happening right there in that moment.
Yeah.
And dude, it was just insane. And since that day, I weaned myself off that medicine. And I just took it slowly because in my mind, if I have to take medicine for something like that, I feel like it's always going to hold me down. Like,
Yeah.
not hold me down, but it's always going to have a grip on my life.
Right.
If I go somewhere,
talking about.
If I go somewhere and I don't take that medicine, I'm going to freak out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm starting to have this feeling. I don't have my medicine. I'm going to flip out and I'm going to do it in public, which is going to make it 10 times worse because all these people are going to be watching me and I'm going to feel way worse about it after the fact. And then you're going to have to deal with everybody asking you about it. And you're like, I don't want to deal with that. So I literally, after I got myself weaned off that, I did that for a week and I got myself weaned off that medicine. I started looking up coping mechanisms and I took and threw the medicine away and I started practicing those coping mechanisms. And it took me about 7 years of talking myself out of it and doing those coping mechanisms and bringing myself down from that high anxiety feel to right when I feel it coming on, I can start with those coping mechanisms, and within 5 seconds, I can literally cut it out.
Yeah.
And I did not. That was my key thing. I was headstrong on not letting medicine have a hold of me in that situation.
Yeah.
Because I believed everything in that moment that sparked that was from that prayer that I prayed in the driveway. And I was like, I just cannot believe that the medicine is what changed that. Because it was too much of a coincidence.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't believe in coincidences, man. You're right.
I've never told anybody. I've told Kate, I think. I've never told anybody else. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's so deep. That's so true though. Talking about like letting the medicine like have a grip on you, have a control, like where if you don't take it, then you can't be normal, can't feel normal.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
Oh man. Dude, that's deep too. And what he said about, talking about it and talking about your problems is telling somebody, whether it's your spouse or a friend, whoever, that's a huge thing because I know like firsthand of what holding it in looks like and not telling anybody, just keeping it to yourself and bottling up all these emotions until it gets to a point where you can't bottle it up anymore and you can't hold it in. And usually at that time, when it gets that bad where you can't hold it in, you can't bottle up those emotions, you're at a breaking point, and usually, things are spiraling out of control when, talking about it could have helped, way at the beginning. But, talking about, say, you said you'd never told anybody else
that I can think of. Yeah. Like I might have in the past, maybe somebody, because I've told people bits and pieces of it because it's not because I was afraid to tell it. I'm not afraid to tell it. I mean, I just told a bunch of people that, I don't know how many people's going to listen to this, but I told some people that was kind of going through the same thing because everybody's different. What helped me might not help you. And all I can do is hope that you find the thing that helps you, you
Yeah.
know. But that's the only reason. But I don't think I've ever told anybody that whole spiel. I might have, but it's been years, so it's been so long that I can't remember.
Yeah.
If that kind of sums it up.
And I'm kind of the same way.
It just makes you numb. The medicine did,
Oh yeah, 100%.
like this blank.
But
Like sometimes I think like like I got a lot going on during the day, and like you come home and it's like there's a lot to do at home or whatever, and you've been doing stuff all day, you've been working, or even if it's just on a weekend, and your wife's been doing stuff all day, and the kids are going crazy, and
you're like overstimulated.
yeah, and you're like, boy, I'd just love to take a mouthful of Lexapro and turn into a lampshade. Hey, that was about the only benefit to it, and that just lasted a very short time.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I can relate all too well. In fact, really, that's something like depression is something that I still struggle with. Like more than probably most people, more than anybody knows. Actually, I've only ever told uh, Taylor and one other person, who like kind of like you had said, who has similar issues.
Yeah,
But man, that's something I still struggle with every every single day, if I'm being honest.
yeah,
And the only thing, really, the only thing that keeps me, I don't know, keeps me above water is my faith. Staying close to God. That has helped me more than any medication ever will. There at one point, man, I was looking for, I don't know, anything like any kind of medication or any kind of coping mechanism that would make me feel normal and
yeah,
gave me immediate relief, like immediate relief,
yeah,
because I wanted all this to go away like now.
yeah,
But I think at a certain point I realized like I was looking to the world for a solution to a spiritual problem.
yeah. It's a marathon, not a race.
Oh yeah.
That's what I feel like. That's one thing I've learned through it. It is not something. Then that's one thing I've told everybody that I've dealt with, that I've talked to, that deal with this, that kind of have asked me. Um, it is something that does not go away overnight. It is something that you have to keep fighting at. You take the little wins, is what you got to do. Take the little wins, put that in your head, keep replaying that every time you have a bad moment. And I promise you, like I said, it took me like 7 years. And um, now I can honestly say that now I don't deal with it at all. Um, it's there. I know it's there, but I can cope with it,
Yeah.
and that's the whole key to it. And I just feel like some people give up. I mean, I don't feel like that. I mean, it's a sad reality that some people just can't handle it anymore, and they give up before they can get to that point, because it's like the old saying is, it's like, or the old saying goes, is the grass the grass isn't always greener on the other side, but it's like if you just keep going, you'll get to that point that the grass will be greener, but it's always gonna die. But then it'll green up, and then it's
Yeah.
that's just life. And some people just can't take it, and I mean, I understand the spot you're in, but it's not.
Oh yeah.
I can't really. I don't know.
Well, and I'll tell you too, like there have been times that if it wasn't, yeah, I'll just be honest, like there have been times that if it wasn't for my wife and kids, that I would have like blown the back of my head out, like easy, easily. And if it wasn't for my family, people relying on me and like knowing that I have people who love me, care about me, that like there at one point that was the only thing that was keeping me grounded and keeping me from getting to that point.
Yeah.
Now that obviously I'm not that way now,
Yeah.
but I know what that I know what that point's like, and mm, it's tough. It's not easy, and getting better from that is not easy. Like you said, the grass isn't always greener. It gets better, it does, but it's not overnight. It's not instant. You have to keep working at it, and it's it is hard. It is tough, and but it's worth it though to keep fighting and to I don't know. It's a struggle, but it gets better. Keep on keeping on, one foot in front of the other, one day at a time, and it'll get better. Damn, yeah, deep there.
Yeah. 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 We didn't. It. Yeah.
But
It's.
in all seriousness, I'll just say this: we probably move on after this. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm no
i-
therapist.
if you're like if you're out there and you're feeling this way now, like don't think you're alone. I would say more people feel the same way
Especially nowadays.
who aren't who won't say it, who are fighting battles that nobody knows about, that just don't have the courage to talk to someone about it. Don't think you're alone, because a lot of people feel that way but don't have the guts to speak up about it or tell anybody about it. And people you think that go through life who seem like they don't struggle with anything, that are always happy, well, sometimes that's just a face that they put on and they're completely miserable. So just don't think you're alone, and that there are other people out there who feel the same way.
It's always the happiest people that are suffering the most. Seems like
And it's like what Robin was
Robin Williams.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the quote he said? Was that the exact quote or
What I just said?
yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It just seemed that's just me like looking at it
Like that's
through
what
a
makes you
broad
think about it.
window. Yeah, because like
Yeah.
you think of, because I was always happy go lucky. I've always been a person that never took anything serious. Um, Never, and I still deal with that. People get mad because I don't take some like serious situations. I will laugh at the worst times, and
Oh yeah.
I have a dark sense of humor, and and you can look at it one of two ways. It helped me get over a bad time in my life. So if you look down at me at that, you don't understand why I'm like that. You don't really know that part, and it's like you have to find the funny in the bad. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's why I don't like talking anything serious. I will, but I mean, now, obviously I will, but if I have my choice, I will never. I'm not a very serious person unless it's time. Like
Yeah.
you have to
You
be
have
in
to
that
be.
moment.
Yeah.
Um, because I mean, it's just it's not worth it. Life, the way that really opened my eyes and the way I looked at it after I went through all this is nothing on this earth is that serious to keep you in that spot
It may
for
seem
that
like it
long.
at the time.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it to me. Um, and I didn't think, it wasn't anything that after looking back on it, it's like, I don't know why I was so down and out about that, but it is what it is. And I got over it. But life's a beautiful thing. It really is. It's, when you go through something that bad, like the night that all that switched for me, it was like I was seeing life through a whole new lens, and I was young still. I mean, I'm not young, but I mean, I was young. Um, and it was just like it changed my whole perspective on things,
Yeah.
It really did, and it just there's no way to explain it, but those that have been there will know exactly what I'm meaning. Just to see the light at the end of that tunnel is one of the best feelings that you could have in your life.
Yeah.
It's indescribable because the happiness that you feel from coming out of that hole is just unreal. Um, but like I said, if you felt it, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, you're exactly right. This too shall pass.
Yeah.
But you're not alone at all. Talk to somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah, my faith was and is like one of the it is the biggest it's the biggest help. And it's helps more than any medication ever has. You know, staying close to God and uh staying in his word and just being around people who also have strong faith, and that that has helped me more than anything. Still helps me. I know the worst times that I've had were the worst times of my life, worst experiences I've had, worst problems I've had were the times where I was the furthest from the Lord. And you stay close to God and count your blessings instead of count the things you don't have. And
Yeah, that that kind of touches on something that I was going to kind of say to kind of wrap it up. Not like the podcast, but like this talk.
yeah,
This
this segment.
yeah. Quit trying to keep up with everybody. Quit. It's not worth it. Like Jill and John got a pool. Jill and John got a new car. Uh, whatever. They got a nice house. Um, it's not. It's not worth it. It's not. You know,
No.
if you can afford it, um, and you need it in that instance, yes. But if you're just doing it trying to impress somebody, just the stress of taking on that load of debt, I could, I couldn't. That's one thing that I've never done. I mean, obviously when you're young, you try and like do the funny things or the cool things to try and make the laughs or fit in at that moment,
Yeah,
or whatever.
buy a car with like 26% interest.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Been there.
Well, golly,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I never got that route, but I can understand. I see what you're saying. But like, it's like as I've got older, like when I was younger, I did, but like I never cared about vehicles and stuff like that when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like all I had, as long as I had a decent truck, and I mean, they looked nice, but I had that Dodge. I had the freaking bought it, and the day I had it, I think I gave like $6,500 for that truck.
Oh, yeah, that is such a good truck too, man.
And it looked so good. But the day I brought it home, I was driving through town and the freaking spider gears and the rear end went out. And I had to freaking haul it home and put a new rear end in it. That sucker was in the shop 4 times for transmission issues. And it only had like 76,000 miles. It was an older one. I mean, it wasn't new. It was like a 04, 05. And but like now, I see it more as I'm an adult. And I guess when I was younger, I never thought of that kind of stuff. Like I never paid attention to it. Like I didn't care how much money you had. Didn't bother me. If I liked you, like as a friend or just as a person, I didn't like you because you had the money. I didn't like you because of that. I didn't care what you had.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of people that would be friends with people that I see as I've grown up. There's a lot of people that just try to fit in groups just to kind of be like, make a staple of themselves to the community. Like, ooh, I'm hanging out with such and such because they got a brand new car and like
Right.
a $700,000 house or
Try to
whatever.
associate yourself with it because of the things they have.
Yeah.
It might make you look better or make you look more valuable in the
Yeah.
community or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I know. Yeah. Get away from that. I know
Yeah.
I'm friends with people that I could go and probably get a lump sum of money from at any given moment, and I'm friends with people that I couldn't, and I value them the same.
Yeah.
Like I don't I'm the same around them as I am the other, and that's how you find yourself in those moments in life, and that's how you find that's I feel like when you quit trying to fit into those molds, that's when you can really dig in on yourself and figure yourself out.
Yeah.
And that was, because that's just something I learned because I grow on like becoming an adult and getting into this like and seeing people that have things, and it's like it puts a lot of stress on you, and it kind of
Yeah.
increases that feeling. But just once I learned like it doesn't matter what they have. I've got a house. I got nice vehicles that run and drive and get us from point A to point B. I don't have to worry about them. They might not be new, but they're definitely not like they're not in bad shape,
Right.
you know. And I've got food. I've got all the things. Bills are paid. Everything's took care of. You need nothing more than that. You don't need the freaking $90,000 truck or SUV or sports car or anything like that
Yeah.
to get through in life. That's just what they think. It's just what that is more of just like a thing of like,
Yeah. It's
making
like,
people think something of
yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right.
and
Like,
it's pointless
buying a
because they mean
vehicle,
nothing.
or a house or something that you can afford just so people think that you're like in a higher like class in society, or
Yeah.
to make people think you have money.
Yeah.
That is the stupidest. That is the stupidest thing
I heard a saying from a guy on TikTok one
ever.
time that said, "You wouldn't believe the people that live in $500,000 homes that couldn't show you $1,000."
Oh yeah, because it's all
They like you're
yeah,
making money, but it's literally
just to go to
it's
pay
just
off your
in
debt.
out, in out, in out, in out. Like
Yeah,
you max out credit cards, pay them off on tax time because
yeah,
you literally cannot keep any money because, and that's what he was saying. He was like, working in, I don't remember what line of work he did, but he was like, it dealt with like people financing stuff or whatever, like you having to see their bank records and stuff like that.
yeah,
And he was like, you wouldn't believe the amount of people that put themselves in situations that they do not need to be in
yeah.
just to make themselves look like they're
Right,
capable.
just to look a certain way
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Like,
And he was like, people will come in here and like these beat up cars and like these raggedy looking clothes, and he was like, they could literally pay for those $500,000 homes in cash.
yeah,
It was like they just don't
that's a
care.
wonderful spot to, I don't know,
Heck
it's a
yeah,
spot to like be in,
yeah,
just to not care like other people don't determine the choices you make. I don't know, that just a
yeah.
wonderful spot to be in, and I've done that in the past. Like I've
Everybody has.
yeah, 'cause I know like growing up, like I never had like the nicest like vehicles or stuff like that. So when I went to North Dakota and started fracking oil and started making really good money, went out and bought that Jeep and dumped all kinds of money into it, and I don't know, stuck left paying on this thing, and then I kind of realized over time, like I thought a nice vehicle was something that I wanted because it's something I never had growing up, but no, I did not.
Wasn't worth it.
No,
Yeah.
heck no.
Yeah, it's nice to have nice things, but
Yeah,
don't not to put yourself in a bind over them.
no.
That's the bad part.
Like I have that Altima now. It's paid off, even though it looks like a shark like bit the back half of it off.
Yeah.
Literally, the back of this Altima is like smashed in. It had been wrecked prior to me buying it, and it's paid off. I will drive that thing until it blows up. It might be 15 more miles till it blows up, but I'll drive it every bit of that. It looks, I drive around that car and I look like I sell meth. I look like a drug dealer. If it wasn't for like the active duty plates on it, they probably would They probably think I stole them.
Yeah, I think you're the dude that's over dropping the needles at the Kroger parking lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're thinking.
And speaking of the needles in Kroger parking lot, so I had, been talking about these.
Homeless people in the Kroger parking lot.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make a series of this.
Oh, dude, we got to get them on the podcast after they've got their fix. If they walk by going to get their fix. They're just walking. Kind of, I guess, normal. And they come back, and man, it's like I don't know. It's like you're seeing ghosts all of a sudden, screaming and shouting.
Like speaking in tongues.
Oh
You ever see
yeah.
those videos? Those like mega churches, and that guy's
Oh
like,
man.
and he's like, talk to him, and he gives him that mic. That guy's like sitting there dancing. He's like, and that
Yeah.
preacher just like running, like just full force. Like, and then they got rock music playing in the background.
Man,
And if that one, it's like he gives him the mic, he plays it, and it's like Nickelback, Burn It to the Ground. It comes on.
you ever seen this? This isn't about mega church or nothing, but you ever seen that? I think it's like a skit. It's like that black guy's up there. He's like the world's fastest reader.
No, yeah, go out.
He like he flips like he gets the book and he's just barely flipping the pages or he's flipping them real fast.
Yeah,
And then he's just like
yeah.
I don't know. That's what made me think of it.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Oh
he's
man.
like this guy really played Guinness. Isn't that the name of the? That's what it said. It's like, yeah, this guy really played Guinness World Record book. And he's sitting
Yeah.
there and he was like doing it for the. It was an Indian guy. Is what it was.
No, this guy's a no. Maybe he was.
Well, the one I seen was the Indian guy that
Maybe
was
it was.
doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, that was funny. I love those videos of the Indian guys that he does that, and it was like that clip. It was like one of those places somewhere where there was like underwater or something where these. Oh, I don't remember what the country was or whatever, and it had a big flood or something like that. And it was like one of them made like a TikTok, and it was an Indian guy, and he was like, "Hello," and it was like looked like the screen was full of water. He was like, "Hello, I am under the water." Have you know what I'm talking about? You not seen that? Dude, that's my
I
favorite.
want to see it.
Oh, it's funny. It's my favorite. Please help me.
Oh man, dude, Indian. I'm not making fun of Indian people, but gosh, sometimes there's some funny people.
They can be. And there are
can't be
also
each
some
other.
ripoffs.
Calling you, asking you about your freaking car warranty.
Yeah, there are also some ripoffs. You ever try and buy something from a gas station?
Oh man,
You go in there and what's that
coffee,
stupid?
please, or something.
Well, yeah. Oh, I'm talking about their food, like they have at the thing. Like you go in there and buy a freaking. It's never the same price, and them gas station Indians, they don't know what a deal is. You go up there and they'll be advertising deals back there. It's like 2 for $3.50, and it's like you go up there and they rank it up 2 for $8.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing? The sign says 2 for $3.50. Oh, that's still going on. I deal with this all the time. I'm a gas station guy.
I'm too.
I love a good gas station.
I've made
You give me some. Oh yeah, I make friends with them all. Yeah, but it really ticks me off when one of them comes in there and he's a new one and like the main ones aren't there and like there's a new one that comes in from somewhere and he's like sitting up there smoking and on the phone the whole. I'm like, what are they talking about?
I know they're always on the phone.
Oh,
Like,
dude! I mean, they need to be a talk show host. Like these young ones are always on the phone. And I asked one of them one day, and I was like, I walked in, he's on the phone. I was like, who are you talking to?
yeah.
And he said somebody, which I mean, I couldn't understand.
Need to ask them next time.
I couldn't understand, and I was like, and him and then the next time I came in, him and the other the owner was in there, and they were talking in Indian or whatever their language is, gibberish, and I was like, I looked at them, I was like, exactly, and they both looked at me like they thought I knew what they were saying.
Oh man, I would love.
I was just like, exactly, and they started laughing. And I said something back like Shia Kazim or something like that.
Shazam.
And he started laughing because they know me. Well, the other one does. And he started laughing. And the new one was over there, like greased hair, slicked back with his cigarette, just looking at me like, look at this idiot.
How does he know my name?
Who is this man?
Dude, that is so true. They are always on the phone. The ones next to the armory, they're not. They don't stay on the phone.
Well, it's not the older ones. It's the young. Oh, I mean, I guess that's kind of for us too. But
Yeah.
but like no, like there's like Americans that work there too. I mean, they're Americans, white Americans. You know what I'm saying? But like they're not on the phone. Like they're not talking. Like they'll get on their phone if it's like a break or like if you walk in, there's like nobody in there. Okay, that's perfectly understandable. Dude, there was one day there was a line out the door, and this dude was just sitting over there talking on the phone and didn't even acknowledge people being there. He just walked away. And like this other one of the older women came up front. She was like, "What is he doing?" I was like, "I have no idea. He just got on the phone and walked away."
And you just locked out.
And everyone's standing there, and it was like, I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
I bet he would have got off the phone real quick if we just stole the stuff.
Yeah, I don't think he would have. I honestly don't think he would have. Yeah.
Man.
Like the whole, I mean, I don't know.
Well, and why is it that? Well, maybe this is probably stereotyping, but
What?
I mean, it's true. Like you see all these call centers, like
They're in India.
yeah, they're spammers, like scammers.
Yeah.
Like there's this one guy on YouTube.
Do not redeem the card. Why you redeem? Did I say to redeem? I just watched a video about that the other day. That's why I said that. It was funny. It was this guy was scamming the scammer, and he was like,
"Nerd guy."
"Nah, dude, I don't remember. It was just audio. It was an audio." And he was like, "Okay, I got the card from Target for $400. I'm gonna redeem it." And he's like, "No, you wait. And then the guy was like, "Oh, I just redeemed it. Why you redeem? Do not redeem the card. You stupid. That was for me."
I think I think I know what video you're talking about.
I watched. This is all online. This isn't me. I'm not being stereotypical. This is you all watched them and you all liked them also. So shut up.
Oh, dude, I'm crying. Because it sounds.
Why you do this?
It sounds so much like.
No, it sounds just like him.
But
Go to Walgreens and get 4 Apple gift cards. And this is to pay off my debt? Yes. We do not accept Visa or MasterCard or Discover. We only accept Apple gift card.
yeah, why is it that it's always Indian people? Like, how come we don't have like scam call centers? Maybe we
should start
maybe we
one.
should start one.
Killer business idea.
You could sound just like it.
Yeah. I would like to be the Nigerian prince.
Oh,
The one that they used to do in the mail and then they started calling.
yeah.
Hello.
Good job.
I am Uganda. Nigerian prince. My father has locked me. What was it? It was like their father locked them out of their money and like they needed like $5,000 or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Or something to get into to be able to get there when they got their money on, when they could get to the point they could get their money, they were going to send you back like triple the amount you sent them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like I think they were talking about that. That was like the first scam that actually happened.
Oh, can you imagine being the first person who got that, who like received that scam? They're like, oh, this
Dude, they got them good. They would get them good for real.
Dang, out of all these people, he chose me.
Yeah, I'm special.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go buy me a Ferrari.
Yeah. And like, what's up? Like, and I don't know. But like, yeah, and there's a like, is there? There must be a bunch of money in gas stations too, because you see these guys like they're balling.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like they just
Seriously.
have nice, like I don't know, Mercedes or a Lexus.
Yeah,
The ones next to
and
our
you
thing.
see, and what's the deal? Like, cause it's like something's just not adding up. Because like you go to a small town, and like if there's a gas station owned by Indians, it's like popping. Like they're pulling in Lexuses, like brand new cars. And you go to a small town that one's owned by like
Not Indian.
yeah, like not Indian family. Like it's like they're struggling
Oh
it
yeah.
looks like they're struggling to get by. If it's like there's just nobody hardly in there, and like the food is most of the time it's always better. Like if you go into one it's like a little bit past lunch, like God forbid, some days you go into the local ones around here and they're up there and it's like 8:30. Oh, breakfast is over. We're starting lunch at eight
Yeah.
thirty in the morning, and then some days it's not. Some days if the women are working there, breakfast lasts till like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
But back in the day before they were there, it was like the they were opening, like the owners were there and they were opening it, dude. They did not. Once they ran out, it was over. Like they didn't make a second batch. Like you were either there at the crack of dawn or you were done.
Yeah, the ones next to the armory, they drive a Tesla. And I was thinking about that one day too. Like, gosh, I wonder how much money do these people
Dude, they
make?
got to be making a killing. Well, I say that like now, like you got your national, like your big brands that are on, like obviously like a 5-star, like they're doing well. They're fine. They have
Yeah.
like tons of locations.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. I guess they have a few locations as well. I mean, they would have to.
Well, like the Indians?
Yeah. Like I know they own. I know the ones around here have like one, two, three. They have like four.
Is
I
it the
think.
same is it the same no, it's not the same family that owns my town and
No, they
T-Mart?
own one somewhere else. Like they own another one somewhere like in T-Mart. They don't own the
They own Carol's Food Mart too, right?
yeah
Yeah, that's right.
they own that one. Yeah, and then they own a couple away from here. But like yeah,
And dude, and this might sound really racist too.
it's not racist.
No, it's not racist because I generally just don't know. But like, why do they have that dot? You ever seen
Oh, that's their religion. That's something to do with their religion.
what religion is
I
it?
can't
It's like
Hindu.
or something?
I think I might be getting that wrong, but that's just not knowing. Like you're just asking a question.
Yeah.
Like if you were making
Yeah.
fun of them for that, that's racist.
Well,
Like
I was gonna.
I'm not gonna provide you with a racist example, but you get what I'm saying. Like if you make fun of that, then that would kind of be racist. Like
The way I was gonna go about describing it was racist.
oh well,
I didn't go that route.
we're gonna leer away from that then because we're not gonna be categorized by that.
No, I wouldn't. I wasn't gonna say nothing terrible.
No, I know you weren't, but it's like the way it would.
Yeah,
I understand what you.
come
The
out.
way it would come out would sound bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was wondering
I would have had your back.
because there's some that well, like the ones next to the armory there, like the main people who work there, they don't have. Well, some of them do have the dot. I guess some believe and some don't.
I guess it's just like everything else. You got believers and you don't.
But yeah, they're super. I don't know. They're super cool.
They are. They're
Yeah.
super nice people. I mean, especially the one when they actually cut up with you, and most of them do. I've only met a few that I didn't really like. They acted like they were just like really stuck up acting.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. Which that's anybody. Like if you act stuck up, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Like you tell them, like they ring you up or something, and like they give you your stuff, and you're like, all right, thanks, have a good day, and they'll just be like, look
They
at
just
you.
look at you.
Yeah, I'm like, well, be miserable, I guess. I
Like,
don't
what are
know.
you deaf or something?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, that makes me so mad.
I can't stand when
It-
people do that.
Or it
What was that?
I don't know. What did that say?
It said something disconnected. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. Something just randomly took place, and
Oh yeah, we thought it was the Indians.
we the spam call centers. We don't know, but we are kind of looming in on the end of this.
Yeah.
We're getting a little lengthy in time here. But I guess we'll kind of call it at that.
Yep. Thank you guys
At that end,
tuning back in, and for those who this makes episode number 9.
yeah, this is episode number 9.
Thank you guys for sticking with us. Like we're gonna continue trying to like improve and bring you guys like better, like better a better experience altogether. We finally got like our audio, tuned in for the most part, and video. Like we're still figuring all this out, but we're continually trying to make it better all the way around. We're constantly talking about different different ideas, or trying to brainstorm, figure out how to fix an issue or something. But no, thank you guys for sticking with us to this point, and just keep sticking with us.
Yeah, I agree.
And we definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, and for those of you that hear this that might not know, I want to say this real quick. You can go follow, like we have our other socials. That we do like short clips. Our YouTube is the Fifth Take. TikTok. If you go to TikTok, you can just type in the Fifth Take. The handle is not the Fifth Take, but I'm working in the process of getting that changed. I've got a few days there before I can do that. And
Instagram
is the same.
That up and going.
Yeah, but it's got it's like the _fifth_take_podcast, right?
Yeah, some loser already had the full.
Yeah, so
may not be.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I want to thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tuning back in. Appreciate everybody that is following on the socials and following the podcast. We greatly appreciate you, and we will catch you in the next one.
Bye bye.